You know, I don't know. I think I was at the Thai massage or something like that. Listen, Mountain of Inspiration. There's a guy who really needs your help. I'm telling you. There's a guy, Vanilla, whatever. He needs your help to help him read the room and understand when it's time to be smart about the things he does. So I'm at the Thai massage, sleeping, enjoying a 1 hour deep tissue massage that I really needed after training and doing the show of Saturday. And I was so tired, which is why I didn't do the show yesterday. And I leave the massage place, and soon as I turn on my phone to see, if anybody could talk to me or whatever from home, I go on Instagram. The first thing I see is Trump and Zelensky yelling at each other. And I'm like, who did this with AI? That's the first thing I said to myself. I said, yeah, that's AI. Then I took a trottinette to my way home, and then I arrive home. Then I look at my Instagram, and I receive messages, and I'm like, yo. The whole internet, my whole YouTube was talking about this. Like, I look at the way they treat him. Oh my God. And I was like, yo, how could this happen? Yes, cousin, I do. MJ, what up? So, me, I'm like, what? Like, how did this happen? So my other cousin, Ladisa, sends me a message and tells me, listen, this is the link to the full conversation. Baswani devant la presse. My cousin tells me, listen, you need to look at the full conversation before you think anything of it. Like, go and watch the full 50 minutes. So that's exactly what I did. I went and I started watching the whole thing. Really, like from the get-go, so them talking. And listen, first 30 minutes, things were cool. But I kind of didn't know exactly what was the point of the joint conversation. I just was watching. I heard they were supposed to sign a mineral deal, something. So, I was just watching, not thinking more of that, right? So now, all of a sudden, the last 10 minutes, that's when shit hit the fan. So I was not really understanding what was going on. I don't know. Anyway, but it made me think of the music business. And listen, it's not that I'm obsessed with the music business, but the music business reminds me a lot about life in general and politics. There's a lot of politics in the music business, and there's a lot of power struggles and power shifts and power dynamics in the music business. So let me explain to you how the music business used to work and probably still works. But the things I've seen in the music business when it comes to artists getting signed and getting put in front of people and getting told that they are the new thing after Michael Jackson. So you take 10 talented artists. That's what we used to do. I mean, not me, but the people I used to work with. I mean, that's the industry in general. You take, so in the Zouk business, right? Let me tell you about the things I've seen, right? You take 10 talented artists. All of them are great. No issue. But then you just choose one of them. Just one. You take that one and you tell him, hey, if you sign these rights away, if you sign your publishing, if you sign and you give us the property to your song, etc., we will have your song being played all around the world. You will become famous, you will make money, you will do a lot of shows, the girls will love you, etc., etc. We'll get you a nice photo session with the best photographer, and then we'll make you a nice album with great songs. So now we make great music, and then you call your people at the radio, people that you are paying in the radio, and you tell them, yo, that's the new banger. You guys have to play this. So they will not play a bad song. But if you have a great song and they are working for you inside of the radio, they will push your song to number one. So you pay one guy at this big radio, you pay this guy at the other big radio. So the two best shows, you pay them. Then you take some promo at the radio as well, so that everybody play the song. You do a deal with the boss of the radio, so that they start playing the song in every show, like every 30 minutes the song start playing. And then you go to the stores, you talk to your people that work at the store, so that they put the album in front of everybody. You can even buy some big posters that you put in the front of the Zouk section, West Indies section. Then you go to the West Indies. You go talk to the guy who has all the big stores, Carrefour in the West Indies, and he happens to be the cousin of the big boss of the record company. You'd say, hey, listen, you have to play this song over and over again in the store. In exchange, we'll do a show for free for you. So now the song is everywhere. So it doesn't mean that the artist doesn't have talent, because you chose him among 10 people that already had talent. You took this one maybe because he's good looking, he has charisma, and you like the demo. And all right, listen, we do the music, we release the album, and when we release the album, it becomes number one after a week out. It's number one in Paris, number one in the West Indies, and everybody's playing it. Everybody's going crazy about it. You have a network of DJs that when you call them, you say, hey, listen, brand new Sushiro album from such artist, Section Zuki's behind. You guys have to play that song. We're sending you, come to the office to get the CD. So all the DJs line up, they get the CD, they get a little something, and everybody's going to their respective clubs and they start banging the song. So the song is number one in the radio, the song is number one in the West Indies, the song is number one in French Guiana, the song is playing like crazy in the clubs. You shoot the video plays on Trace TV, you get some advertisement, and then you get some press because you know a few people, and now you have a hit. Once you have a hit, you start selling a bunch of CDs, and the artist starts to make a lot of shows, and he starts to have a lot of fans, and he starts to have a lot of girls telling him, oh my God, I love you so much, I want to sleep with you. And listen, he really starts believing that he's the next Michael Jackson because his own manager is telling him, you are the next Michael Jackson. And then he performs, makes money, start making, I don't know, €1,000 every show. So one show on Thursday, one show on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday. That's $4K every week. That's $16K per month. All of a sudden, yeah, he's comfortable, has some nice girls, and he really starts to believe that he's better than the 9 other artists that were as talented as him, but they could not make it because they have your support. Because you call the TV, you call the radios, you call the DJs, you call all the press, and you tell them what to do because you are powerful. And yeah, you call Portugal, say, yo, hey, that's the song. I tweet on Kaysha.com, yeah, that's the song. And out there in Portugal, same thing. It bangs, it goes there. Oh my God, this place is amazing. Blah, 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 blah. So you're starting to see that artist starting to act in front of the other artist as if he was better than them. Because, yeah, you put him up there and he believes that he can fly. When in reality, he's not flying, he's on your head. But it's all good. That's, the promo and etc. So we come to a point when where you start to, how can I say? After 2 years maybe of him being so successful and breaking all the, having so many, having so much hits and shows and success, you start telling the artist, hey, for the next album, we're going to do this way. and he tells you, oh no, I'm gonna do it this way. And you're like, what you mean? Like, it's not like we made you, but the platform where you are keeps you above all your colleagues. So you're gonna do what we tell you because we are investing. So it's a conversation. So it depends your relationship with your label, etc. But it's a conversation about, if you're working with somebody like me, yeah, we're gonna talk about the artistic direction. We're gonna debate it, and I'm gonna tell you, hey, I think we should do this, and then you tell me I would love to go there, and then we'll find, the right place. But sometimes, some of these people are starting to tell you that, oh, I made myself. I'm here because of my talent, because I'm so amazing, because I'm the new Michael Jackson. And you're like, wait a minute. Does he think that he can fly? Well, he's on my hand. That's why he's up there. And I have a whole network that he's benefiting. So that's when, usually in these big labels and things that I've seen, the company might tell that person, yo, we need you to sign the publishing deal for this new album. And the artist starts saying, for example, I don't see why I should sign a publishing deal. You guys have to give me some money or whatever, or I'm so amazing. And people are like, wait. And then you start realizing that people are in need of a reality check. I've seen this happen with a girl group that I work with. They started having boyfriends and new managers, and all of a sudden they started messing up with the business, and there was a deal structure about how the money from performance was being divided between a lot of big companies that were behind them. And so for them, they were like, hey, why we getting paid 6,000 and we only get 2,000? And we were telling them, no, you are getting paid 2,000 and the 4,000 are part of something that is bigger than you, but this is why you are here, and you have 100 shows. So you multiply your 2,000 by 100. That's what you get. But then the people around them were telling them, no, you're so amazing. You don't need these people because listen, you're leaving 4,000 at the table every time. And those 4,000 were paying the industry people and the people that were putting you there. Like sometime to be part of a certain type of mafia, you have to give your share. And when they start saying, nah, we don't want to pay our shares, that's when these companies usually say, all right, I'm gonna put my hand down and we're gonna see if you can fly. So then you release your music by yourself. And now, without the help of the PR, the company, the paid radio personalities, the clubs, and sometimes the clubs have partnership with the big company. So when the big company says now he's not performing, all of a sudden you cannot even do shows anymore. And now you're back to the reality that you were never better than the other 9. You all were good, but the company was putting you way, way, way on top of the others. And you have to eat a little bit of a humble pie. And the worst part is what? These big companies, what they would do is they tell you, or if you don't want to do it, one of the other 9 will be happy to sit on the hand. So you take the hand down and you say, hey, who wants to be on the hand? Me. Yeah, you. Sign here, sign here, sign here. And now you have a new number 1. And I've seen these being done in businesses in general, but the music industry. Would it be the hip hop industry, the zouk industry, the kizomba industry in Portugal? I've seen these being done to people so many times. The same people who will tell you all the lies that your ego wants to hear just so that they can exploit you. I've seen this happen so many times. And people always fall for that. And if you don't fall from that, or if you don't want to play the game, there's always somebody that will want to play the game. And this is why the game doesn't change. Because if nobody wanted to play the game, they would be forced to change the game. But there's always going to be one person whose ambition and ego and interests are bigger than the rest of you guys. So, all this to say what? Well, Zelensky is one of these guys. That's what you have seen on display in the White House. Since 2000 and when was he elected? 2014, I guess. Okay. Don't mind me with the date. I don't have documentation in front of me. But at the end of Free Thinker, thank you so much. So when the Second World War, which is actually just a European war, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, when what they call the World War ended, then you had the Cold War, right? At the end of the Cold War, when the USSR got dismantled, there was a deal that was made between the Americans, the NATO, and Russia. What was the deal? You give us back half of Germany, and we promise that NATO will never move an inch to the east. All the ex-USSR countries will stay neutral, and we'll stay there where we are, and you will have us far, and no base, no American bases, no NATO bases, no missiles, etc., etc. And the biggest part of one part that the Russian called their sister country, Ukraine, will stay completely neutral because of its position geopolitically. So that was the deal. You will have this whole tampon zone between you and us. And yeah, listen, it's all good. And from then on, NATO couldn't stop moving to the east. And they kept moving. And they kept not respecting their own word. So the Russians were like, hey, what are you guys doing? But they want to, they want to be Occidental. They love the way the West thing, blah, 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 blah. So, they all start coming in. Poland, Yugoslavia, etc., etc. All these countries, like they all start becoming part of NATO. And Putin was there already. Where they kept, saying, yo, you guys are abusing a bit. Anyway, geopolitics, things between the new empire and an older empire. And, arrogance from the Americans. And also from the Europeans. Time went by, and the way they started using and infiltrating Ukraine, the Americans, and then remove the pro-Russian president and then put Zelensky in power, and then just propped him from being a comic and actor, etc. Which, listen, you can be a politician after that. There's no problem about that. But then the PR campaign that happened from when everybody was criticizing them from actually mistreating their Russian population on the East, to all of a sudden saying, oh my God, they have been invaded by Russia, etc., etc. Like, then you had that whole PR campaign, and this is what I'm interested in, and not the history, but I was just giving a little bit of context. But then you had the PR campaign started about Zelensky being a hero. And listen, it was actually a good PR campaign, I have to say. Stopped wearing suits, started wearing only shirts to be in connection with the soldiers. Like the whole thing, like, listen, the PR campaign was amazing. Nothing to say. And again, listen, I'm French. I'm not for Russia. I'm not for Ukraine. Listen, I'm for peace. Hopefully these guys find a way to find a solution and end the war. This has been too long. People are dying. But the PR campaign was amazing. And listen, that guy, everywhere he went for the last 3 years, he was treated like Jesus. Standing ovations everywhere. All the money you can, anything for you, glory to Ukraine. Like, he would arrive at parliaments all around the world. People would stand up, oh my God, the last rampart to democracy, etc. Listen, a few years before, everybody was talking about this country as one of the most corrupt country in Europe. The same people who were telling you, oh my God, the Azov battalions are all Nazis, they were now telling you, oh, these are heroes. PR. And the problem is, the same as for, if you take the analogy I was doing to you about how record companies treat artists, as long as they do what you want, listen, they're going to tell you that you are the next Michael Jackson. But then if your sales don't go the right way and they start moving some things around and you come to them telling them that you are the next Michael Jackson, they will say, no, you've been on our hand the whole time. So you're going to sit down and let us do what we have to do. If not, we're going to take somebody else. I do believe that's exactly what they did to Zelensky. Because he's been, listen, the last 3 years, he's been used to going everywhere, asking for more money, more money, more money for the war, because he's the last rampart between democracy and the evil Russians. And there's been a very anti-Russian PR campaign all around the world. And that was a whole CIA strategy, as always. And he's been propped up, and people were telling him, yeah, you're the next Jesus, bro. Go ahead everywhere you go. Like you go to Parliament, you go to the US, everybody, oh my God, can I touch you? Ah, this guy, look how this is a hero. Ah. And then time went on. And after 2 years, realistic people, generals and serious people, not just, were saying they cannot win this war. It's impossible. And actually, it was impossible from the start. These people are just being used to weaken Russia. And they are sacrificing people for nothing. And they should have taken the peace treaty long time. But then, people told them, no, don't worry, we here, we got you. You are Michael Jackson, go ahead. You are democracy. And yeah, people start to believe what you tell them. So after another year, Trump arrived in power, and he's like, yo, so what about this Ukraine thing? He's been saying, I will stop this soon as I get in. And soon as he got in, he was like, yeah, listen, Russia's a great power. We are a great power. India's a great power. China's a great power. Europe could be a great power, but it's complicated because it's not a country. It's more a collection of partners. So we don't really care what they think. Not me, them. And Ukraine is losing. So you know what we're gonna do? It's time to end that shit. So, come sign these mineral deals so we can get our money, and come to the White House so we can just, ratify something, and then we can go talk to Russia and find a way to end this. Yeah, listen. Yeah, you might lose these country. Yeah, you lose Crimea, Donetsk, Donbass. Listen, anyway, these people are Russian. They've been wanting to leave because you've been treating them like shit. Listen, let them go. But you were telling me that I was... Hey, listen. The game is over, bro. And instead of doing that, somebody probably told him, listen, there's going to be the cameras. You have to say this, defend this, and then they told him the same way they tell artists. Bro, when he told him, listen, you don't have all the cards, or you have no cards, bro, it reminded me of every time I've seen an artist that have been told forever, yeah, you the guy. Oh my God, we love you so much. Oh my God, we're gonna listen, your whole career, we're gonna be there. Don't worry, we here, etc. We'll pay for everything. Oh my God, you're better than Michael Jackson. You the next Stevie Wonder. You the next this. You the next. Oh my God, you the next Mariah Carey. You the next Beyonce. All these people and all these promises they do to you. And then when they don't need you anymore, or when you refuse to comply, or maybe when you just learn how the game works and you're like, wait a minute, I don't have to give you this or this, or you know what? I'd rather do this in my studio, and instead of you give me 10%, I'm going to make 30%. All of a sudden, they will tell you, hey, either you do the way we want, or we'll remove you from where you are, and we will put somebody else. And listen, when Trump said after that, listen, he's not here, he's not ready for peace. And then, forgot the name of the other one, a warmonger, said, hey, we want peace, and if it's not with him, it's gonna be with somebody else. I was like, oh yeah, I know these too well. And I've been through all this in the music industry. Listen, it's an interesting analogy. But listen, when it comes to men and power, it's always the same thing. They used you to try to do something, and it didn't work. And they know it didn't work. So now they're telling you, listen, time to stand down and peace. And you probably have all your far rights at home that is telling you, and probably the people that, like, whenever you used to go there, everybody was always like, oh my God, Jesus. And now you come, you're not Jesus anymore, so you don't understand. So you do all the mistakes. And that's what happened to him. And